Hello and welcome to Movie Magic 96, your one-stop shop for all things movies. From reviews and unboxings to deep dives into film collections, I'm here to celebrate the magic of cinema. Now, let's roll the film. Today, we're diving into one of the most anticipated releases of the year, Frankenstein, directed by Guillermo del Toro. I've been looking forward to this one for a long time, so without further ado, let's get into it. I'll admit I haven't seen the majority of Guillermo del Toro's films, but the ones I have, like Hellboy, Blade 2, and The Shape of Water, have really impressed me. He's a master at telling stories about misunderstood or unlikely characters. I still need to check out his stop-motion Pinocchio from 2022, especially after being burnt out by Disney's forgettable live-action remake that came out the same year. When it comes to Frankenstein, this is one of the most iconic characters in cinema history, the universal monster that helped define horror as we know it. After lackluster modern takes like Victor Frankenstein and I, Frankenstein, it feels like the perfect time for a faithful yet fresh reimagining for the modern age. And from the moment I saw the trailer and posters, I was hooked. The film stars Oscar Isaac as Baron Victor Frankenstein, Jacob Elordi as the Creature, Mia Goth as Lady Elizabeth Harlander, and Christoph Waltz as Heinrich Harlander, quite the powerhouse cast. Right from the start, Del Toro's version sets itself apart. The creature is presented almost like a gothic slasher villain with a haunting presence and even regenerative powers reminiscent of Wolverine or other comic book anti-heroes. The production design is breathtaking. Victor's ancestral mansion feels massive in scale, packed with ornate furniture, cold marble floors, and flickering candlelight. Del Toro's attention to detail is next level, giving this 19th century setting a massive sense of scale and history. At a runtime of 2 hours and 30 minutes, this is a far more fleshed out story than the 70-minute 1931 classic. That earlier film was revolutionary for its time, minimalist, atmospheric, and morally ambiguous. But Del Toro uses that foundation to explore the humanity beneath the horror. In the 1931 version, Victor, then called Henry Frankenstein, is preparing for marriage when his obsession with playing God overtakes him. In Del Toro's adaptation, that dynamic changes. It's Victor's brother getting married, emphasizing how completely consumed he is by his work. He's not just distracted, he's emotionally detached from his normal life. Elizabeth's costume design even nods to the bride Frankenstein, with her flowing cloth-like sleeves reminiscent of the bride's iconic outfit. We also see how Victor's obsession stems from trauma. His mother's death in childbirth becomes his twisted motivation to conquer death. Mia Goth pulling double duty as both Elizabeth and Victor's mother is great as usual. That layered casting mirrors themes of guilt, love, and creation, very Del Toro-esque. Oscar Isaac delivers a powerhouse performance, arrogant, brilliant, but haunted, while Jacob Elordi's Creature might be one of the most sympathetic versions ever put on screen. His animalistic roars and physicality remind me of a lion or bear, but his eyes convey pain and innocence. Henrik's role as the financier and intellectual rival adds a sharp layer of political and moral commentary. Del Toro's gothic imagery is in full force. The coffins of Victor's parents, each with a separate face cover, the porcelain anatomical busts that feel straight out of Hellraiser, and the blend of beauty and horror in every frame. There's some heavy gore here too, from the blood-soaked operating tables to the creature's rampage through Navy men earlier in the film. Del Toro doesn't shy away from the grotesque, but it's never gratuitous. The creature's design is divisive but striking. Pale, scarred, and hair longer than we're used to, instead of the square-headed, bolt-necked Boris Karloff look from 1931. The newer version is both beautiful and disturbing, but I can see where people have issues with it like myself. James Whale's Frankenstein focused on horror through atmosphere and taboo, the terror of science defying God. The creature was mute, tragic, and ultimately innocent, misunderstood by society and hunted for his existence. Del Toro builds on that legacy, but deepens it emotionally. His creature can speak, a controversial choice, but one that humanizes him and connects closer to Mary Shelley's original 1818 novel, where the monster is intelligent and philosophical. Where the 1931 film ends abruptly with a mob, a burning windmill, and redemption by death, Del Toro's ending is more introspective. The second half leans into tragedy and reconciliation rather than punishment. Victor faces the consequences of his obsession not through death alone, but through emotional reckoning, confronting what it truly means to create life and the pain that comes with abandoning it. By the end, Frankenstein feels like a full-circle evolution of the story. It respects the 1931's film's legacy, but restores the creature's humanity from Shelley's book. The result is a gothic tragedy, equal parts horrifying and heartbreaking. My mom liked it more than I did and thought it was phenomenal, but she is someone who watches period dramas frequently. It's not perfect, some may find the creature too handsome or the pacing a bit off, but you can't deny the set and costume design, the performances, and the emotion behind every frame. For me, this stands as one of the best Frankenstein adaptations ever made, second only to the 1931 classic. I'm giving Frankenstein a 4 out of 5. What did you think of Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, and what are some of your favorite adaptations of this timeless story? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram at MovieMagic1996. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, it's alive! It's alive!